Hi screen printers, this is Colin from Ryonet. Today we're going to look at a piece of art out of the GPS art packs. Specifically, it's the one that you're seeing here on screen now. It's a skull with a candle. I added a little bit of color to it to give it a little bit more pop from the one color black line art. We're going to take this design and we're going to walk through going through AccuRip, picking halftone angles, printing films, and then we're going to go and put this on the Ryonet 150 and doing registration. So in previous videos, you've seen me create a base white, and you've seen me go through color separating for blends and doing color separation for spot colors. So within this design, you can go back and reference what I've done in the past for specifics. I'm going to point out a couple of things. Specifically here, I have a 16% yellow tone here on top. The base underneath that's going to be solid white, so that tone on top is going to give me a slight off-color look to it, which is closer to the tallow candle or tallow color that you get out of candle. Obviously, I have a yellow and orange blend here in the flame. And then down here in the teeth, it's difficult to see properly because Illustrator does not display color when you're blending layer on top of layer very well. Not for what we use it for on press and screen printing. It looks different. But under here in the teeth, I have a base white. I have a little bit of orange and then yellow on top to give the teeth a kind of a gold look. And it's an educated shot in the dark as to what their color percentages are. We'll see what it looks like once we get on press. So I've already done the separations. You can see here I have my yellow. So within the gradient, I've already gone and done my slider adjustments. In the orange, I've already done my slider adjustments. There you can kind of see some of the change there. And then I've created my base white. I didn't do anything special with my base white because it's halftones on top instead of solid color. And halftones look strange if you trap them too much. You see little speckles where the dots are hitting the shirt, or as it overlaps a little bit, and it looks a little strange. We'll do a macro shot once we get on to press. But that's what I wanted to show you in here. Here's my original. I've created my separations. Next, we're going to go to our printer. We're going to print out films, and I will see you there. All right, screen printers. So we're back here in the darkroom. I'm ready to shoot my 3 screens for the Ryonet 150 job. I've had requests from some customers to show how we line up films to our screens, so it's easier to get our screens lined up on press. What you want is you want some guides on either side of your screen and then a stop point. If you're only using one frame size, you can actually put a stop here and a stop here that you slide your screen into and get it to lock into basically a corner position. But if you're using multiple screen size, it's not always the best idea unless you know where you're lining up. But you also want a grid system, so you know where you're putting your film at. So I have a mark here specifically on this board that I put my top registration mark to, and my registration mark is always 1 inch above my top of my design, so I always know where my design is. So when you're placing your film on here, I always put my tape on it. I'm going to turn this off so it's easier to see. I have tape already on my film, so all I need to do is lay this down here and then put my screen on top of it and then push my screen in. So I'm going to turn the light on this light table back on, and I'm going to double check that that is centered. There we go. And now I'm going to pull my screen in against my stop, center it between those 2 lines, push down on the tape. So now I have the tape adhered. We can see as we pull this up. Let's see, can we get that? We got all this in red, and there we go. And I just push that down. So there we go. Our film is on the back of our screen, ready to go. It's going to fall the same distance down on every screen, and it's going to be the same distance across on every screen. This is not a pre-registration. This is simply placement on screen. So there are some fine dots in the flame that are right on top of some threads, and they're not spraying out completely. I've overexposed just a little bit for the emulsion thickness. You can see how my step 8 is fairly intact. So I'm in between the LED lights, still having a little bit of scatter when we get into very fine dots. And then that slight overexposure getting out into the finer dots right on top of threads. That's where it's just a combination of circumstances. So on to the next one. All right, screen printers, so you just saw that all 3 screens got shot. You saw me pulling out my loop to check detail. Now what I'm gonna do is I have a 230 left over. I always like to code a little bit extra to make sure if I make a mistake, I can get it covered. But since I don't need to shoot this for anything, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this 230 that is coated with CryoCoat into a smoothing screen. So I'm gonna do the 3-color job plus a smoothing screen on the Riley 150. And all you need to do to make your own smoothing screen is take a screen. I happen to have this is a 230. Coat it, dry it, put it in your exposure unit, expose it, and that's it. So I'm going to overexpose this one a little bit, just so that I know that it is fully done and I don't have to worry about it. Heck, if you're in a sunny area, you can literally take that screen, put it outside in the sun, forget about it, come back in half an hour, and you're golden. No issues with reclaiming at any point in the future. Gives you a great product, great on-press characteristics. Thanks for watching, screen printers. If you have any questions whatsoever, leave a question. You know that I answer them. Reach out to us on social media if you have any questions or if you want to show off anything cool that you've done. Hit the subscribe button if you like what you're seeing. Talk to you next time, screen printers. Take care.